guys, Chase here, giving you vlog day number 1 on my Mass Effect N7 armor build. I mentioned it in my intro video to my new YouTube channel. By the way, link down below. I appreciate a subscribe and a like here and there. In case for the YouTube channel is where I'm going to be posting all my old episodes of the Achievement Horror, plus new stuff, plus vlogs and things of that nature. I made a whole video about it, just watch that thing. But let's get into my decision. I'm making Mass Effect N7 armor to cosplay as for a convention I'm going to, as well as when I eventually get to doing Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 for the Achievement Horror. Kind of nice to have that little armor walking around. So I'll tell you first thing, and I'm also doing these videos to help you if you want to make your own version of the armor. You know, materials you'll need, where to get these materials, and also references, and the most important thing is the templates. And that's kind of what I'm going to cover here on what I've got done on day 1 so far. First thing that you want to do before you do anything is take measurements. So I got here measuring tape, and I had to get my girlfriend to help me out with this because I can't. It's hard to measure your own body, but what you want to do, the measurements that you want to take, now most people when they would measure, they would go, you know, out and around like this, and kind of measure like that. If I was to measure my chest like this, I'd say my chest is about 43 or 44 inches round. But the way that these templates are set up, you want to measure only from the halfway part of your armpit. Best way to measure this though is if you're wearing a t-shirt like this, start at where the seam starts. So that's about halfway. So if I were to go here, I've already done these measurements, this is just for your own sake. I measured around 23, 24 inches around. Now, what I'm talking about right now is the chest and back pieces. There's tons of other pieces that you're going to need. But for this, first you want to measure yourself around half of your waist. So for me, it's about 23 across. Then on your chest part, it's going to be a little bit shorter than the back piece, and I'll tell you why in a second. So what you want to do is measure from usually around where your collarbone is, or your collar, and measure all the way down to, and you're not going to see it on the vlog, unless it's not even seeing on my tip toes, you're going to see that. You want to measure down right about, you know, where the cup of your jeans or pants go. So, you know, in your special areas, about where you want to measure down to. As far as the back goes, same thing applies. Just measure halfway, so go from seam to seam. It's going to be roughly the same inch. If not, it's going to be maybe 1 or 2 inches more width. Now, as far as for the back piece, what you want to do is measure from the small of your head right here, usually about where your hairline ends, if you've got short hair. And then move it all the way down. You want to measure down to right below your waistline. Probably around where your... pardon my French, where your asshole is. That's about as far as you want to measure down because of the spine piece that you're going to be working with. Now, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod here, and I'm going to show you on my computer the templates. And if you look down below, I'm going to provide links to where you can get these. I actually got this from a really great website. Most of you probably know it. It's the 405th.com. It's a great forum and a great place to find people, and they post their progress on their armor, and also tips and tricks on how to build helmets, armor, weapons, things like that. Not only am I building the N7 armor, I'm actually going to build the M8 Avenger assault rifle as well, because, you know, Shepard needs a weapon. So let's just go over here, over to my computer. And I got, well, I've got my screen split right now. I'm watching Man vs. Game, trying to conquer Ninja Gaiden 3, the Ancient Ship of Doom, the original NES version. By the way, link to his channel down below as well. I'm going to pull up this image right here. This is from Mass Effect 2, the PC version. You want to get something like this, just the way that everything is rotated around, just for a frame of reference, and keep that in mind. It'll also help out with measurements. Now I'm going to open up my Photoshop here, and this is one of the pieces. This is the back piece. Now, the files that I'm going to send you to, these are the measurements of the guy who, they were designed for his measurements, but with a little tweaking, I can show you how you can tweak them to your measurements and whatnot. So, what you want to do, we can start with something like this. Now, these red lines here, also, you're going to want to eliminate as well, because these are, like I said, for his measurements. These are cut off to 8.5 by 11 inches, and I'll let you know why in a second. So, now if we look here, this is the chest piece, and I've actually got it to where, give me 1 second here. I've got it to where I have, you're going to see speakers here for a second. I just need to zoom out a little bit. There we go. And what you're looking at right now is, I've got everything measured. My measurements for the chest were 22.5 width and 29 length. So this right here is to where my collarbone is, and this is the crotch piece for it, if you saw in the reference picture. Now, the tough part about this is that you can stretch this to the measurements, but not all the pieces are going to be the same, because what happens is that these are all separate pieces. You have to, you see these guidelines I've made, they're 8.5 by 11 so that they'll fit on printer paper, on regular printer paper. What you need to do is I needed to go to another site, and unfortunately I got rid of the other layers here. Let me just close these ones down. I'll leave one up as an example because we're going to need that in a second. Now, what you'll need is, and I'll just add another layer in here, just for the sakes here. So, oh, that's not it. It's not like I worked in Photoshop before. Okay, so I'm gonna open up a photo here that I recently downloaded.